gentlemen, with Punt Pals, the game begins. Betting on sports with our expert spins. From football fields to courtside drills. Punt Pals podcast, we pay the bills. Punt Pals, go big and play. Join us now every sports day. Tips and picks that never fail. Punt Pals podcast, set yourself.
Welcome to the puppy version of Punt Pals podcast. One of the benefits of recording from home is that both me and Nick have our dogs on camera today. Banksy and Bob, hello pups.
How are we, boys? Yeah, they're getting in on the action, mate, and they don't seem too fired up about it, to be honest. Put on a bit of a show, would you, lads?
Jeez.
Just happy to be held. Happy to be held.
Do you know, it's funny, with dogs, like, I don't know if you're ever away, like you're away on the boys trip, which we'll talk about later this weekend. But if you FaceTime with your dog, like say Sarah's got Bob at home, they can't see the screen.
Nah.
Like, they just can't tell.
No engagement. My dog, Bobby, because I've got the suitcase packed, he hasn't moved about half a metre away from me the whole day. He knows I'm going. He knows I'm going. He's trying to get himself in the car any chance he gets. He loves a fish, so unfortunately he's going to have to stay home this time, though. Too loose for you, Bobby.
Sorry, Bob. They know the suitcase, though, don't they?
Yeah, they do, mate. They know the suitcase well. Off you pop, old son. Go on, mate.
Yeah.
We've got a podcast
Out
to
of
do,
here,
big fella.
Banksy. See you later, boy. Well, that was a fun way to start, mate. I like it.
Yeah. Bit
Now the
of
shirt-
casual approach.
It's a bit hot in here.
Banksy's warmed you up, mate.
What's going on, mate? We're back again. Another episode, another Pump Pals podcast. What is news in the world of Nick Ristovic?
Rare one today, mate. Got the Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday, Monday as well. So just getting the boat ready, greasing wheel bearings, changing trailer lights, re-rigging rods, just getting a plethora of things ready to have a big assault on the fish on the south coast down at Denmark. So I'm heading off there tonight, fish the morning, and the boys get down tomorrow lunchtime. Hopefully they've got some fillets ready to go for the fish tacos, mate. That's the plan.
Hey, there you go. So you're going to go do a pre-fish, as we're going to call it.
Yes.
Get the food, get the ball rolling.
I'm impressed with the pre-fish knowledge there, mate. You've clearly been tuning in the last few years when I've been talking about the boys' trips. I love it. Exactly
right, mate. I know your lingo, don't you worry.
So, yeah, way too keen, early. But, mate, yeah, looking forward to that. It's nice to have a day off midweek. And the wife's had me painting last night and doing a bunch of things around the house as well. So, got a bit done, mate. How about you?
Oh, yeah, day off's never a day off, is it?
No, mate, not when you have a house to maintain. But what about your good self, mate? How have you been?
Yeah, really good. Coming off a fairly quiet weekend. I didn't get up to much last weekend at all, to be fair. I've played golf a couple of times since I spoke to you, which I'll recap in Hero of the Week. But I'm launching into a bit of a work weekend this weekend. I've got a tab touch shoot down in Freo on Saturday.
Is it a basketball shoot? Or?
No, not a basketball shoot. More a shootout in front of goals for the AFL.
Oh, lovely, mate. Lovely.
But yeah, a bit of Freo stuff before the finals. Ground announcing at West Coast on Sunday. And then by the time this podcast comes out, which will be Thursday morning, I'll have played another round of golf because I'm booked in at 7:44 tomorrow morning.
So when you said Hero of the Week and you playing golf, are you suggesting putting yourself as Hero of the Week for your golf game at the moment, or just where are we at with it?
How did you know? Yep, got a birdie on the weekend, and just like what the hat says, birdie club.
Nice, mate. Looking forward to seeing how your game's going. I have to have a hit with you soon for sure.
You will have to have a hit, and I'm not putting myself in Hero of the Week, by the way. Let's clear that up.
Damn, someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it, mate.
Someone does have to do it. Anything else other than your fishing trip, or pretty
mate.
smooth sailing?
No, weekend was pretty chill. Racking up the brownies for the boys' trips, just getting some meals prepped and a few things sorted at the house. So it's a bit easier for the wife with the two boys. But, mate, what I did on the weekend was ride out an absolute bucket load of one leg same game multi-losses, mate. So there's a few hard luck stories we'll go through today in the potty. We've obviously got our lifestyle segment today, which is the time wasters segment, which I'm looking forward to. We've got the Hero of the Week. We've got our flag predictions and the premiership pie, which we're doing today, and then our multis and review of last week. So it's another cracking show, mate.
Love this from you. And I think we will get straight into this segment on time wasters. So let's do that now. And mate, you've come to the party with this. When you shot me off an email saying what you want to do, I could not have been more on board with this. It's a cracking topic to go through before. Have a few time wasters given you the shits lately?
Well, mate, I'll tell you what, and I'm probably like a lot of people out there is just sort of working full time. You're pretty limited on time, mate, especially when you've got kids too. You get a little hour, 2 hour, 3 hour window, and you just want to make the most of it. And there's just always flogs out there that are just holding you up, just cutting you down and ruining your vibe. So I think it's time to talk about some of these serial time wasters and just call them out for what they are, mate, because some of it's just absolute garbage.
I've got to agree with you. We all live a pretty busy life. We don't have time to waste. And when people are sapping your energy, your time, and just your life, there is nothing worse. So kick us off. What's your first time waster that you bloody hate?
Mate, I mean, it goes without saying, but when you do things regularly, you know what the process is going to be. When you go through the checkout at the shops, you know you're probably going to have to get your loyalty card out. You're probably going to have your wallet out to pay, or your phone for a bit of Apple Pay action. But nothing annoys me more, mate, than when you get to the paying stage at the checkout.
Hang on. This is actually part of my bloody time waster. I've just got to stop the dog. Oi, stop. Come on.
Oh, jeez, Banksy. Yeah, bring him back in, mate.
For a minute.
He just wanted another cuddle. But yeah, nothing annoys me more, mate. You get to the checkout. People have had about 40 items scanned, and then it gets to the end. Oh, hang on, I'll just get my wallet out. Oh, I'll just find my Flybuys card. Like, you've got 10 minutes to sort it out. You've probably done it 15 times in the month. Surely you know they're going to ask you for payment at the end, and you're somewhat prepared, mate. Why do you waste time doing that? It just shits me.
Use your brains.
Oh, mate, it's like, are you off on another planet, not knowing that you need to pay for your groceries? Like, why don't you have your stuff ready when you get asked? So that's the one that pisses me off, mate. Where are you going to kick off?
Just to add to yours as well, I use this app now. It's called Stocard. And when people don't get their loyalty card out and all that sort of stuff, there's nothing worse. Just use Stocard. It's 2 clicks and you'll find your Woolies card. No dramas.
I'm a huge Stocard man, mate. No, I'm glad you called that out. Anyone listening that does waste time, get on the Stocard action.
Now, you just heard that bark from my dog going nuts at someone who was out the front. And one time waster that annoys me. There is nothing worse. People walking past my apartment and letting their dogs sniff in our front yard, because what happens every single time is it sets my dog off. He doesn't want that dog there, or he wants to say hi. I've got to pick up from what I'm doing, whether it's watching TV or doing some work at home, and I've got to go and fix the problem and essentially pick up the dog like this and hold him for about 5 minutes till he settles down. So people who hang out the front of my house, out of here. You're setting me dog off.
Beware, and you're halfway through putting a multi on last minute before the game. Someone comes past, Banksy sets off. You miss the jump, mate. You miss the multi. You sit in your bed slip and it wins, mate. That's how it usually goes for me.
All right, what else we got?
Those who can't decide what drink they're going to have through the drive-through. This annoys me too. I mean, I'm a guy who likes to go, if I'm going through traditional HJs, mate, what would you like? I'd like a Whopper with cheese meal, no pickle in the burger, and I'd like a Coke with it, please. They're going to ask you, right? So just jump in. Do the right thing. Be proactive. Tell them what you want. Don't get to the end and go, what do you have? Okay, yeah, like it's either Coke, Sprite. It's a pretty straightforward list, mate. Just get to it.
And let's be honest, you're really not straying from that list generally as well. You're always going to get the same thing in the end, so just order it.
And just get on, as I said, get on the front foot and just give them what you actually want in terms of drink when you order your meal, because you didn't really need to wait for them to ask, mate, in my mind. It's just a time-wasting thing, and at a drive-through with 10 people stacked up, mate, it adds up, you know?
Yep, I tend to agree with you. Another one for me is it's about the neighbours again. We've got neighbours who leave their bins out all week, and while that doesn't sound like a time waster to start with, mate, the amount of time I have to sit with my wife talking about it, she gets angry, and then she'll fire up, and then we just keep going and going on about it. I make plans to put signs on the bins, all these things. And, it just ends up taking up a lot of time. So neighbours, put your bins in and save me the trouble.
Yeah, it's annoying, isn't it, too? Especially when they're out in the verge and, you know, someone wants to park there or you're trying to weave in and out of them. Also, just quietly, I mean, people that tend to look for those who leave their bins out when they go searching for houses to rob and stuff as well, I've been told, in my local area. So bring your bins in. Don't be lazy. You might just get burgled in the middle of the night otherwise while you're still in the house.
I like how you say how I've been told, like it's not you doing the burger.
Yeah, exactly. Down Hammy Hill, mate. Anything goes down here.
What else, mate?
I hate people who, and hate's a strong word, but I really do despise people on a cheap Tuesday that fluff around at the servo. I mean, there's about 7 cars lined up trying to score a little fuel discount. And they're washing every window with the squidgy. Or they're just floating around the minimal grocery section inside, just taking their sweet time. Like, use your brains. Look around. Have some awareness. There's about 40 people waiting to get their fuel. Just get in and out. Simple as that. Wash your windows next time you go the next day or the next day after that. Or just sort it out yourself at home. It's like the boat ramp. Same thing when people are lined up at the boat ramp and people take forever to take their boat off and they're just chilling while there's about 1 million guys lined up. You just got to have that awareness, don't you, Robbie?
Awareness is a very good word for this. Some people just don't think of others and they just are naturally pains in the ass. So I think it just comes naturally to them. And it's funny, when I was writing this list, Nico, I started writing stuff down that just annoyed me. For whatever reason, I just got on a rant and I'm reading back to some of my time wasters. I went, actually, people who don't wave when they're driving. And I was like, that's not actually applicable, but it,
Well, you know,
I just got on a little rant to myself.
You've
But,
let them in. You've let them in. They haven't waved, Robbie. They've wasted your time, really, haven't they? You've done the courtesy. And
actually,
fits
yes.
the bill, I reckon.
Actually, it fits the bill. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
another one I was going to put in was ads on TV streaming. So,
Ew.
of course, we have Netflix, Amazon Prime, Stan. You can name them all off. But we've also got the 7, the 9, and the 10 app. And the way they roll it out is they have ads similar to you watching TV. But for whatever reason, some of these ad breaks that they have can be 9, 10, 11, 12 ads. So ad breaks are going for 6 minutes. And it annoys me because that's a massive time waster. I could be watching it on TV in half the ad time. So
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there, but geez, it is a time waster.
Yeah, they're almost trying to charge you like even extra on top of your subscription to go ad free. Like used to just be included with the basic package. Like KO is a good example, you know. Now they just throw a few ads in there. You're like, where did that come from? That's why you buy KO, right? So you don't have to sit through the ads on normal free to air. So I'm with you, mate. Turns a half an hour show into a 48, 50-minute affair that is just the same ads on repeat. So I'm with you, mate.
And
Feel
if
strongly.
you fast forward, then you get a double bank of ads because you hit an ad mark.
Yeah.
So annoying.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. My last one, mate, and it's probably quite topical because it's very recent, but the census, not sure if I'm assuming you would have been the good citizen you are, sat through the census this year.
Yeah.
I mean, that was in some ways relevant, in other ways just some of the meaningless bullshit questions you've ever heard, like asking me how many unpaid domestic hours I achieve each week. Why do you care? What a load of shit. Like, I'll give you my age. I'll tell you where I live. I'll tell you about where my home loan's at if you like. I can tell you my star sign, but don't ask me about my unpaid hours of work around the house and just stupid stuff like that. It just seems to me like an absolute waste of time, mate. To be honest, should be an easy exercise. Ends up being a 40-minute exercise for no good reason.
Yep, I agree. And it somewhat did feel like a survey this year. Like it really did give the impression that they were just trying to get every little bit of ounce of information off you. And I think the tax office should have most of this stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So it was actually very annoying. I'll wholeheartedly endorse that one.
Left hand doesn't talk to the right, mate, in government, I think. It's just disappointing.
Yep, I think you might be absolutely spot on there. I've just got one more, and it's remembering passwords when you're trying to log in. Now, I get it. I'm an advocate for internet security. We don't want to get scammed. We don't want our money stolen. But there's got to be an easier way than having all these different passwords. And then when you try to log into something, you've got to remember it. You can't remember it. You click forgot password. You've got to go to your email. You've got to click the link. Then you've got to put in another password that you're going to forget again anyway. It's a disaster and a nightmare, and I think everybody cops this.
They do, mate. I've similar to Stokart, I've got an app called Keeper now, which is a paid app. I think it's only $1 a month or something, but it stores all your passwords in there for you when you reset them. So do you want to save it into Keeper, and then has 2FA, so you've got to put in a PIN code and your Face ID, and you go in there, all your passwords are chilling. But, yeah, mate, I'm with you. Nothing more annoying than, say, you get a new phone, you've upgraded your iPhone, and all your Face ID logins are gone, and you just go back to square one. And it's just like, I've got a great new phone with heaps more storage. It's going to take me 3 days to access the basic functionality I have with my old one.
Yeah, there's nothing worse. Nothing worse at all.
Shit.
Oh, it's so funny. All right, have we vented enough?
I think we have as good therapy, if anything else, mate. That's for sure.
It does feel good to get it out. I will say that much.
Yeah, let us know on the Punt Pals pages too. If there's anything that really just gets you going up and about people wasting time. I'm sure there's some crackers out there, Shu, for sure.
No doubt at all. These next people have not wasted our time. They have been heroes.
I can be your hero, baby. Don't be a hero, mate.
Robbie's Heroes of the Week.
Nico, we've both been onto this. I haven't actually fixed that opener yet and just made generic. It will happen next week. Too many people have been wasting my time.
Mate, you're the pioneer of Hero of the Week, so I'm happy for it still to pay homage to your great self because, you kicked us off with the bang a couple of years ago, mate, so I'm just pinch hitting.
Love it. Who you got for us this week? Seen any heroes? Seen anyone who's done great stuff?
Mate, I like a bit of Sammy Swaddling action from Collingwood. A guy that was looked over many drafts, obviously a WA boy. He's had a really ripping start to his career at Collingwood. Always been able to find the footy. The question marks on him were perhaps his disposal and pace around the footy, but he does some smart stuff. And during that really tight game, obviously, where they drew against the Hawks on the weekend, he had 28 posies, and more importantly, when Moore kicked for goal, he punches the ball off the goal line. Very smart. They get the draw, and I just thought, Sammy Swaddling, put yourself on the map on the big stage and do that sort of stuff in your first few games. Absolute credit to you, mate. Loved it.
That's awesome. And what a name as well, Swaddling. Isn't that what you would have been doing with your sons? Put them in a swaddle and take them for a walk in the park?
You do. No, you swaddle them up, which is where you tie their arms sort of down and you swaddle them and get them nice and comfy, like they still think they're in the womb is the reference. But you'd probably take them to the park in a swaddle if you liked. They just couldn't do anything, mate.
Perfect name for a backman as well. Pin their arms, hold them down.
Keep them away from that footy.
The straight jacket, that's probably more appropriate. All right, awesome to Sammy Swaddling. I've got one for Alex Albon. This has just popped up. He's re-signed with Williams for another year in the F1. So he's been driving pretty well this year. I mean, the car hasn't really been giving him a lot, but him and Carlos Sainz are actually a good team. And as the Williams car improves, I think they're going to move up the championship rankings a bit. So well done to Alex Albon. You're in, buddy.
On you, Albon. Well done, mate. Good job.
Yeah,
I like that.
Nice.
We've got a couple more here, mate. I'll throw one as a swimming hero of the week. Aussie swimmer Lani Pallister, who really just conquered the world in the last week or so, mate. She became the first female swimmer to beat Kate Ledecky, who is the GOAT of the 800 metres freestyle. Hasn't lost since 2012 London Games. I'm talking about Ledecky here. And the Aussie swimmer Lani Pallister just knocked her off and obviously swam a PB in the process. So a changing of the guard potentially, but an up-and-comer to watch for the Olympics to come, Lani Pallister, mate.
I got one more for you, mate, and it's a little bit out of the box, to be completely honest. So I had to hit a golf on Monday, and I actually hit the lottery. This doesn't happen very often, where you get to the golf course and you're the only one in your group. I think I've complained to you before about how you can get into groups of 4 and you don't know who you're playing with. Anyway, it was just me. It was amazing. I was the 6:53 tee off, so I think it was too early for a lot of people to get around. But anyway, I played about 2 holes and I caught up to an old fella, 85 years old. His name was Bruce. And I started having a chat with Bruce, and at the start I was going to try and, play off by myself. But he ended up being a ripping bloke, and he's a Kalgoorlie sporting legend. So he started talking to me about footy. He coached in 4 Kalgoorlie Football League premiership sides. He won a league medal.
Wow.
And he's a gun golfer, mate. Like, he kicked my ass. I got around in 52. He got around in 47. Not even joking. Yeah.
Smoked ya.
85.
Wow. Did Brucey give you a few tips on your golf game as well while you're at it, or what?
He gave me more tips on life, to be honest. Just chatting through, and he was a good fella. Like, he was really good to speak to, and it was nice. So it's good to meet someone good on the golf course, and I thought Brucey deserved to hear
Brucey link to the podcast. Get him Spotify downloaded on his phone, and he can hear your tribute. Brucey on a motor razor maybe from years ago or something. Blackberry.
And interesting about Bruce, his grandson has just signed up with the Sydney Kings.
Oh, wow.
His name was Jaden Sharp.
Okay.
Jaden someone. Anyway, he was in college and, he's 25. He's just signed up with the Kings. So we'll be keeping an eye on him as well.
Good genes there, Brucey.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny people met on the golf course. Sounds like you've met a few good blokes now, mate. You're getting a bit of a posse going down there.
Getting a posse.
I like it.
That's good, mate. That's very good. Well, that's Hero of the Week. Very well done. We found some good ones there today. Nick Ristovic could be in there next week after his boys' trip.
Couple of PB fish, mate. I'll self-nominate. We'll see how we go.
All right. Well, let's move on to the flag this year because, mate, we've got one round of footy to go. We've had a massive controversy this week, which I don't think we'll delve too deeply in from the actual incident point of view, but it does have implications on who's going to win the premiership this year, we both think. And that's, of course, the Sydney Swans with 5 players out for the rest of the season. Absolutely crazy scenes given that Heaney, Warner, Blakey are amongst their very best. And Bias, he's probably in their bottom 5, but a lock for the team. And Jordan, he's been a great tagger for them. So, I mean, it's a big 5 to lose.
Yeah, potentially 3 of those guys you mentioned, probably all Australian in a week's time when they announce the team. So, yeah, it's dire consequences, and you'd have to see their season shot. And as we work into the markets for the premiership winner now, you can see all the favourites have come in, and Sydney have blown out. We had them here 2 days ago. They're $8 and now $28. So,
oh my God,
if that doesn't tell the story, I don't know what does. So we'll work through the odds, and then we're going to do a bit of a premiership pie. So percentage of who we think can win, and it'd be interesting to see who we think's actually a live chance, because obviously it has changed shape, as you said, in the last 24 hours.
It certainly has. Now, with my pie, I had a really good look at this, mate, and I got it down to 4 teams. So my pie is only down to 4 slices. I don't think anybody else can win it at this stage. So to me, it came down to the Hawks, the Cats, the Lions, and the Dockers. So I had Fremantle in at 40%. So I think they take up 40% of the pie when it comes to flags.
Okay. It's a big chunky slice.
It's a massively chunky slice. I had Brisbane not far behind at 30%. So I reckon they could really do some damage. And as a Dockers supporter, mate, you should be very worried about the Brisbane Lions. They know how to win flags. They're going for a 3-peat, and they've got the players there that can get it done. So I reckon they sit in at about 30%, which takes up 70% of our pie.
Yep.
And then the Cats, 20%. I think they've always been up there. They know how to get it done. They could be dark horses here now that Sydney are going out of calculations. And the Hawks at 10%. They're just not in form at the moment, and I don't think they have what it takes yet to win a flag. They're missing a couple of pieces of their own pie, you might say.
Yeah, it's very good by you, mate. Yeah, no, it's a solid list. And hard to disagree there with Brisbane. I'll talk through my slices in a minute. But just quickly, before we get into my pie, I think, mate, just a quick update on the premiership odds here. So Freo were $30 earlier in the week, now to $2.75, firm favourites. Brisbane were $4 before the Sydney saga, now $3.40. Hawthorn on the third light of betting, they've remained firm at $8. They haven't changed. Now Geelong, they're at 15s, they're in at 14s now. So, and the D's are 18. So, outside of that, I can't really see anyone doing any damage. The D's are probably the smoky, given the form they've been in and how they took it to Freo there at the G, which they'll probably, if they meet Freo there, they'll have to do again. But for me, Freo, 35% of the pie, so slightly less than your big piece there, mate. I've actually got the Lions at 40%.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, to your point, mate, the age-old saying, you got to lose one to win one. I feel like Fremantle to go to the G, those young players on the grand final day, to be favourites against Brisbane would be a big ask, I reckon, even though they have been in good form. And Brisbane a bit scary at the moment. Kyle Lohmann's doing some crazy things. Ashcroft has been prolific. Zach Bailey's a game winner. We've seen it happen on grand final day, and I just think those players that have that X factor, and Freo do have plenty of them, I just haven't seen it yet on the big stage, so I can't have them in front there in terms of the percentage. I've got the Cats at 15%. You had them at 20, I had them at 15%. I think they're going well without shooting the lights out, beating the teams they should, but they do lift a gear in the finals. And then the Hawks, I was very bullish on them a month ago, to be completely fair. Probably were a little bit overexcited about them, given they played some probably, teams down towards the second and third parts of the ladder. They now came up against some good teams in recent weeks, and they've come up short. So I've got them at 10%, mate. So Freo 35, Cats 40, Lions, Cats 15%, and Hawks at 10%. Four that can win it.
Do you know, mate, I was just looking at just thinking about the odds that you've read out. Given that Sydney are out of calculations here at $28 now, the rest of the market hasn't moved that much. Like, there's still plenty of value there. If you were taking Freo at $3 before, $2.70 isn't as if you've lost all value. So there's still good odds there for premiership markets.
There is, and I mean, you don't want to look right down the bottom. Like, I mean, Carlton have been doing some crazy things. They're 51s, and Collingwood, who were written off, their young brigade look like they actually have some pretty decent talent. So they're at 67. So I'm not saying there's an upset there, but you could probably back a few of these, a couple of the favourites and a couple at odds, and you're hoping for the outsider to get up in the end. But you're getting some pretty good value, I reckon, man.
Geez, it'd be out of the blocks if Carlton, for example, finish 10th, make the wild card round, and then win the flag. Like, can you imagine that, winning the flag from 10th?
Mate, they probably lack the cattle, but their contested footy's been as good as anyone's over the last month or so. And, that new coach effect, there's a lot going for them. They don't have to travel much during the final. So, I think Carlton and Collingwood, whilst I don't really think they'll win, I think the fans of those teams would be pretty happy to take the 51s and 67s available at this point.
Yep, I reckon you might be right there. And speaking of odds, let's get into our... do we want to go through... We don't really need to go through our betting last week, do we? We didn't have any wins.
Mate, I've just got a couple quick things to touch on because I'm still pretty scarred by what happened to me on the weekend. I went with a saver, and just to drag it all up again, I went with the saver, which was essentially the Dublin bet, which is 2-1, and it was the Lions to beat the Suns, the Saints to beat Richmond, and of course the Hawks to beat Collingwood, who drew. So I was absolutely filthy about that. And just watching the Hawks in the last quarter, just to touch on it briefly. There was about 4 patches of play where they were 3-1, outnumbering the Pies in the back line, and they somehow just managed to cock it up, mate. Like, it was very un-Hawks-like, wasn't it?
Yeah, what's going on with the Hawks? They were looking so good just a few weeks ago, and they've really gone off the boil.
Peaked early. I think they rely too much on the likes of Newcomb and others if they don't fire, and Sicily's off the boil a bit at the moment. There's just a few of their senior players that... if they don't play well, their underbelly of younger players can be hit and miss. So they're a big watch for me. So the Dublin bet went down, but this is probably the worst one, mate, I've probably had on the Punt Pals podcast. Went back to the Freo same game multi, 9-legger, $9.75. It was a good looking multi, 3/4 time, 8 legs are up, and of course Josh Tracy for 2. 1 goal for 2 that didn't even register a score. 1 from 35 metres out directly in front. Just one of those things where you think, how do you buy a goal? Just one more would be nice, and everything else has done the job. So that was Shizen, but the only good thing I had, which was probably, thank gosh I went to racing, is I tipped 2 dodgy on the potty last week in the blue spec. It paid $7 and $2 for the play, so I covered all my bets in the end, and had 1 out of 3 winning tips for the potty. So, and 2 that missed you talk about fantasy points and stuff and reasons to put those sorts of markets in, and I just thought Tracy get it done with 2 there, and probably should have in the end with 7 shots on goal for the game.
Hurts, doesn't it? Really bloody hurts.
Stings. Oh. Would have been huge. 9.75 it was.
Mate, with my betting, I had an absolute nail biter. So I just want to talk about the Saturday Super Shop very quickly because it was 5 games, 10 legs, paying $76.48. It
was massive.
Oh, it was massive. And I just put $10 on it. So $764.86 was going to be the payout. Amazing. And boy, oh boy, did things start well. So I had Max Hall and Bradley Hill both to get 27 possessions each. Now, Bradley Hill had, I think, 25 at halftime. Max Hall had about 22. Like, they were off to a fly. Yep. So that leg, there was no dramas. Like, they both ended up in the 40s. It was so...
It played out exactly as you said it would be. No Naz, they'd both rack up the ball. Brad Hill in career best form. And I think Brad Hill had 20 with 2 minutes in the second quarter. I was like, wow, this is unreal.
He was just going, He plays his 300th this week, by the way.
Yeah.
And Jack Gunston as well. So that was great. Big ticks first up. North Melbourne and the Cats. Now, Bailey Smith also went out to a flyer. He was very close to being done by halftime as well. Sheezer was going very well, but he copped that whack to the face, and I believe he's got a broken eye socket.
He does.
So thoughts with him. That's not good, but that was before halftime. He was voided. So that leg was done, but the bet continued, which was great. Lions in the Gold Coast. Ashcroft got his 30 again. Dunkley got his 22 in the last minute or so.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I was nail-biting there a bit. Dacos and Newcomb got it done in the Hawks and Collingwood game, 33 and 23 apiece, which left one game. 8 legs were done. I was very happy. And I had Ollie Wines for 21 plus. He did that easily. He went out to a flyer as well. He had about 20 by halftime. And it was Tom Sparrow, the very last leg of the entire multi, which let me down. Mate, he got about 3 touches after half-time, and he ended up with 16 rather than 23 plus.
So, yeah, 13, I think, at half-time, and you're on. Everything's on track. Look, not a conspiracy theorist myself, mate, but Tom Sparrow just signed a new deal with Melbourne. They were in front by a fair margin, Melbourne, at half-time. Is it just a case of him maybe just being used on the pine or sitting on the pine a bit more in that second half that probably cost you a bit of complacency with the extension of his contract there at Melbourne? It just felt like it was a bit of an odd performance, given he'd been 20 plus for the last 15 straight, I think.
Yeah, and 25 plus for about the last 5 or 6. I don't know, like that could be true, but he was on the field for most of the last quarter, and he only got 1 touch, so. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm not quite sure, but it didn't really go the way we wanted it. Imagine the payout if it had have come up.
Oh, mate. Just a couple of those together this week would have been a real good result. But that's hindsight's a wonderful thing. I do think, as I said last week, there are clearly teams that are not risking their more valuable or important or impactful players late in games when they're out at big margins. And that's...
Yeah.
And it's kind of this perfect storm of the bookies shortening the odds on all the regular legs that we take that were normally $1.25 and they're now $1.17. You have to stretch them. And a lot of bench minutes and a lot of guys resting off the ball, but they'd be playing mostly in there. So it's been a pretty tough few weeks, man. And to be 1 or 2 legs off each, I think, wasn't a bad result, really, as much as it hurts.
Yeah, we'll take it. Unfortunately, there was just no cash back on it, which is a pity. But we progress. We move on to next week.
We do, mate. We'll bounce, mate. And I think maybe we need to stick with racing, to be honest, because feels like we've been hitting more winners in racing than we have in sport the last few weeks.
Yeah, that might be our new thing. Are you going to do the 10-20 this week? The 10-10?
Nah, mate. Nah, I've got a little.
Nick.
Nah, mate. I'm going back to the Freo SGM, brother. I got something for you.
Yeah.
I'll give you a 10-20 during finals, mate. I'll give the people what they want. I'm just building them. I'm just building a bit of anticipation, mate, if you will.
Yeah. All right. I'm a little bit disappointed. I was looking forward to the 10-10-20, but I'll pay it.
Okay.
What are you doing this week then?
I got a Western Derby double, mate.
Oi.
I have been watching both teams the last few weeks. I am a big fan of West Coast, even though I'm a Fremantle supporter. I know that's quite rare over here in WA, but I do like both WA teams. And this week I'm going to the West Coast game originally. First up, McCarthy 20. It's been taking kick out. It's getting the 1-2s, getting it done pretty regularly. Tim Kelly's in a real good patch of form the last 4 or 5 weeks. 22 plus for him. Harley Reid 22 plus, and then Waterman anytime. He'll probably kick one goal 9, but I think he should get one. And in the Freo game, Sarong 23, Brayshaw 23, Bolton 19, Geordie Clark 19. He's bounced past 20 the last 4 or 5 weeks, which has been good for him. Hayden Young 17. I had him 15 last week, and he pissed it in. Luke Ryan 15, Matty Johnson 15, Luke Jackson 15. So a lot of legs. I've had to go short like a little bit, few more legs at lower possession rates because they've been cooking me the last few weeks. And as I said, mate, Sarong, Brayshaw and Harley Reid, last week, I'm getting the same odds for them 22, 23 passes I was getting for 19, 20 last week. So either the bookies are stitching us up or they're trying to tease us out and just make sure we go 1 or 2 possessions short. But either way, I'm going to back myself in. $7.30, mate, for that one. $7.30. Get on it.
Mate, I'm going to follow it in with you, and we're going to have 2 winners this weekend, 1 each.
Well, I'm excited
it's
for.
gonna be good for your boys' trip.
Well, it will be good. Well, you used one leg off a $78 shot last week, or 2 legs with a Sheasel facial fracture. So I'm feeling good about what you've got here, and I think you're going to play with a bit of fantasy. So I'm excited to see what you're going with here.
Yeah, so I did tease it last week and then, honestly, completely forgot about it. 2 weeks ago, I said the only way to go is fantasy points, and I promised you that I would do the Saturday Super Shot with fantasy. I didn't do it last week, so I've flipped it to this week. And, mate, this is how it looks. It's an 8-legger for the Saturday Super Shot, all Saturday games, paying $10.78 boosted. I've got a $10 stake on it, so it'll pay $107.85. The Carlton Freo game is first up. Tracy, 80-plus fantasy points. Brayshaw, 90-plus fantasy points. That leg comes in at $1.83. We've got Melbourne and the Western Bulldogs, the Bont 95-plus fantasy points, which he does most weeks. Bailey Dale at 90-plus. That comes in at $1.55 for that leg. Cats and Richmond. Smith, 120. He's in a purple patch at the moment, and I reckon he's going to carve up the Tigers. Dempsey, who's also playing really well this year, 85-plus. That leg gives us $1.95. And finally, the Crows and the Giants. Bit of a nothing game, I reckon. But Isaac Rankin, who's in a beautiful vein of form at the moment. He's gone 120 the last couple of weeks, so he's going to go 120 again. And Jordan Dawson, the most consistent man in the AFL, bar Nick Dacos, I'd say. 110 fantasy points for him. He'll be off the chain as well. That leg gives us $1.95. All up, $10.78, Nick.
Lovely, mate. I'll tell you what, Isaac Rankin, good shout. He's probably playing top 2-3 players in the league at the moment. I mean, the rest of that Adelaide midfield looked pedestrian compared to what he put up against Freo last weekend. He was unbelievable, man. You could not stop him.
I reckon he went 162 fantasy points or something.
Mate, off what did he get the week before? Close to that as well again, didn't he? I can't remember because he kicked a couple.
Or it was 120 and a really good game. I think under another ranking system, it was one of the highest ranked games in 10 years or something.
Yeah, he chops, man. He's unbelievable. So, yeah, they missed him in the finals last year and they went out in straight sets. But, yeah, I like the multi, mate. $10 and a long way off 76 last week. So, hopefully this one collects and we can build a kitty.
It'd be nice. It'd be very nice. So we'll see what happens. Mate, that brings us to I've got a couple of listener questions for you here this week, actually, which is interesting.
They've been coming in, haven't they?
They have been, and you can get in touch with us on the socials through Insta or TikTok, or if you've got Nick's email, just send them all to him.
Few pen pals.
Yeah, exactly right. So, Nick, this is from Dan of Freo. All controversial. Boys trip this weekend. You've spruiked it for the last couple of weeks. Will you fellas be dealing out a little bit of a quieter weekend this year, or is there a chance of another rolled car on the tables?
Oh, look, I think the roll card be 200 to 1, given we've probably learnt our lesson there. What I would say about the boys' weekend, and most blokes around my age will probably know, when you get away and you haven't got the kids there, it's kind of a 2-speed economy. There's a bunch of young fellas that are just going to, or guys without kids that are just going to run amok. They'll be drinking VBs till 3 in the morning and you'll be hearing them just wanting to shut up while you're trying to go to sleep. And then there'll be a bunch of guys that just love not having kids climbing all over them at 6 in the morning and just sleep in that extra 2 hours. So if you find the balance between them, it does get loose, but at the same time, there's always a couple of the older, wiser heads that just sort of keep an eye on the group and make sure we don't do anything too stupid. And we've paid the price, as I've said in many years. So I think we're maturing somewhat, mate.
So which one are you? What camp are you in?
I roll between both. I go hard early. It's a Thursday to a Sunday affair, so I go hard Thursday night, Friday night. And when I say hard, I mean fishing all hours of the night into the wee hours in the morning with lots of beer. And then Saturday night's a quiet pub feed, and then Sunday's kind of all the way back to Perth. So I peak early, mate, and sort of level out late.
I like it.
What do you reckon?
I like it.
I got one for you, Robbie. Trent of Belden. And this is an interesting one, actually, because I try to keep up to speed with all of these, but what are the gambling promos you like to smash each week? I know you're a creature of habit, and I'm probably a bit closer to this than Trent would be aware of, but what are the regular promos you take? What's the best promo you've ever seen as well? The two questions there from Trent, a two-parter.
Ooh, that's a great question. Weekly, I'll normally go on especially the Thursday, Friday night. I'll look for those. Any leg fails and you get a bonus bet, or one leg fails and you get a bonus bet. They're generally pretty good on sports bet, and they're the ones I look for. I do like the Tab Touch specials here and there. Like they'll throw in it depends, but it can be like a 50% bonus on your winnings and stuff like that for the Grand Prix. And they'll normally have a special multi in there as well. So I like them, and that's what I'll look for. But the best I've seen, and it is with Better, which I know you talk about as well. The 1 year they offered 101 for the AFL Premiership, but they let you split the bet. So basically, I put $1 on 10 teams to win, and I end up dragging out $100 for the price of $10. I think it was the year Collingwood one that I did that. But on that, my wife Alana, who tends to pull off these really big bets not all the time, but occasionally, she put $10 on Collingwood, and she won $1,000.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That is crazy. They had NBA as well and NRL. I doubled in all three, and the only one I ended up pulling off, I think, was in the NRL. In the last 5 minutes of the game, I think.
That would have been the Panthers year.
Panthers came back, and Cleary did the job and got him over the line, and I was thinking, geez, they've offered me 101 here, and I'm not going to hit any of these bets, and ended up getting the Panthers up, stunk it up in the AFL. So that was a good promo, wasn't it, mate? And probably we probably won't see anything like that again, I don't think.
Oh, I'd be very surprised if we did, but you never know. If it does pop up, though, make sure you jump on it straight away.
100%, man. That Cox Plate one, Animo, was bloody good at $20 too.
Oh, that was great. I got that. Yeah.
I had a bit of that with Better too. So, yeah, there are a couple of good ones. Good by you.
Oh, thanks, mate. Thanks. Just like my specials. It can be a bit of a tight ass. Just ask my wife. All right, let's move on to you, Adam of Mirrabooka. Do you have a favourite sports movie? And, is it one that you like to watch all the time? So what's your favourite sports movie?
Any given Sunday for me, mate. Go back to the old NFL type setup. Very good movie. Quality actors. That's my serious kind of sport movie where I'm looking for a bit of a plot line. If I'm looking for a fun sport movie, it's got to be Happy Gilmore, doesn't it?
Oh,
so easy to watch. Bit of humour in there, and just breaks the mold a little bit. So they're my two, mate.
I like it. That could actually be a list for next week, our top 5 or 10 sports movies. So maybe we'll do a bit of research on that. Just to throw it out there, though, if we're talking footy movies, I like Varsity Blues. I don't know if you ever saw that. It had Dawson, James Vanderbeek, who passed away.
Yeah, I did say that. It was good.
That was a ripper of a movie. So...
The Titans, what's that one with? Is it the Titans?
Remember the Titans.
That was bloody good too, mate. But Al Pacino in Any Given Sunday, if you haven't seen it, go and see the old halftime speech. He sort of just rouses them up, and you sort of look at that and think, geez, it's probably one of the best rev up speeches you'll ever hear. Better than Dimmer and some of these guys this year that go pretty hard at halftime. Who's the guy from GWS, the coach that went
Kingsley,
nuts?
Adam Kingsley.
Yeah,
he fires up.
Bit more measured than Kingsley, but it was good.
All right, let's keep our powder dry on the rest of this conversation, because I reckon we can get a segment out of it next week. Top 5 sports movies.
I might throw a top 5 sports movies quiz at you, mate.
Oh, look out.
Test your knowledge. So looking forward to that.
What else have we got there, mate? Any other questions?
One more for you. Margaret of Kalgoorlie. Same place as Bruce, mate. What is the... And this is a good one, Margaret, because this guy does go to a lot of premium events, so this is going to be an interesting answer. What is the best live sporting event you've ever been to in WA? I know you're on the East Coast, early doors, but since you've moved over here, and there's been a bloody plethora of good events over here, mate, so I'm interested to see where you go here.
This is a bloody good question, and all right, I just want to clarify, do you mean like just the best sporting event or the best live sporting moment?
Live sporting event, mate, from start to finish. What's the one that sticks out in your mind that you think,
okay,
gee, that was good?
There's only one. The 2021 AFL Grand Final. To have the Grand Final here in WA at Optus Stadium in Perth is something we'll probably never see again. And it was just something to behold. Like, you had to be there. It was amazing. That's number one for sure.
Okay. Can I stretch you for a second? What's another one that comes to mind that was quite memorable for you other than the GF?
Okay. let's take out footy then. I reckon the football, the Calcio Italiano, which happened a week or two ago. I went to the AC Milan and Inter Milan game. It was on a Wednesday night, so you wouldn't think that's box office. But the way they put that thing together was really bloody good. Like, they had the walk to the ground from the Merrywell. Yep. They had those huge banners I told you about, which cost 16 grand a piece and took up each end of Optus Stadium. And there was, I got to help roll out those, and that was really cool. Not just to be part of, but for everybody to see. Then they had a huge fireworks show. They had an opera singer, which, if there was a roof, he would have blown the roof off. And then they had the game. So, I mean, that was a pretty good event, and you'd be very hard-pressed to go past it.
Yeah, it does sound elite, mate. That's definitely a big show, big production. You missed the call out on the flares, though, mate. I think you did talk about the flares last week.
Oh, yeah, the flares.
The highlights,
no, I didn't like them. They gave me the shits, to be honest with you. I'm a no for flares.
Too much smoke around.
Oh,
couldn't see it
terrible.
again.
Terrible. Have you been to any good ones while we're at it?
Oh, man, I'm biased, but the team behind me there in the Wildcats, I spent a number of years there, and at the old Challenge Stadium comes to mind. Kevin Lish, I think at the time, our shooting guard, dropped 10 threes in a semi-final game, and we ended up going on to win the premiership that year. That was probably one of my fondest memories. Bryce Cotton at RAC Arena. Going away from AFL, obviously, because Freo haven't had a lot of joy. I think those Wildcats grand final series, those home games here in Perth, whether it be at Challenge or at RAC Arena, the fans turn out. The whole place is red. It's absolutely lit, mate. And when you're that close to the action, compared to, say, Optus, where you're 50-odd metres away minimum, you just feel the energy in the crowd. And, just some of my fondest memories, mate, because the Wildcats have, I think they won, I think it was two championships in the 5 years I worked there, so I was very lucky.
Oh, how good is that? Did they give you a ring?
I do, mate. I've got 2 there. It's my lucky ring. I worked the races, and generally serves me pretty well when I
So,
work it
do
on.
all staff, like the entire team, get a ring when there's a championship?
We're lucky to have a very, very great owner in Dr. Jack Bendat at the time, and it was his initiative to provide all the full-time employees at the time a championship ring. So I've got 2 there. They're kind of family heirlooms for me now. I'll pass them down one day to my sons, and they can each get one, which is good. And I don't think they do it anymore, but it's one of those good conversation starters when people sort of say, "Is that a championship ring?" And you sort of go through the stories and you get to relive it every time. So, mate, it was definitely one of my fondest moments, working in sport, but also as a fan as well.
That's epic. Takes a village. And I like that. I mean, there's always a bit of debate around the premiership medals and whether the entire squad should get it or whether it's the people on the day. And I actually am of the opinion that it's not just the players on the field that day that get you to the grand final and win you that flag. So I reckon it should go to the entire squad, personally.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole nother conversation and getting off track, but I reckon it takes a village, man.
It does. I used to have to sell the whole joint out, mate. That was my job. So in a 5-game grand final series, say against New Zealand, we play game 2. I'd have to turn around a game in 3 days, get the whole venue sold out, get all the member seats taken up, and then potentially have to do it again in another 5 days. So you pretty much don't sleep during that period, and obviously the crowd play a big role. So I felt entitled to one anyway, mate, to be honest.
And you deserved one.
You want a Red Army? I had to get him there. It's my ring. No, but
that's right. That's right. And just on that as well, like I just think about, I don't know, let's say Fremantle this year, and I don't want to jinx anyone, but if Luke Jackson does his knee in the preliminary final and can't play in the grand final, but then Freo go on to win the premiership, you can't turn around and say to me, "Oh, he doesn't deserve a premiership medal."
Exactly.
He's been a focal point of getting them there all year. I think it's a team effort, and I reckon it was great that they extended it out to the staff, who clearly are a big part of it as well.
Yeah, well, while we're on the topic, Brisbane Lions a couple of years ago, there was
the Big O.
The Big O gave his medal,
Oscar
didn't he? I got one from Darcy Ford, I think it was, or the other way around. But that was bloody awesome to see. So you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So there you go. Anyway, mate, that's I think that's us done.
I've got a little bit of
Very
racing
good
gear to
pop.
finish off. I've got two key call outs on the weekend. We've got King of Light at Belmont going around. one of the star sprinters here in WA. It's $1.55 in the feature at Belmont on Saturday, but I'm looking forward to seeing that. King of Light has been an absolute beast. It's won, I think, four of its last 5 starts. 5 starts out of 6. 5 starts out of 6 it's won, and it's just an absolute star, and probably the only up-and-coming sprinter we have here in WA that could challenge some of those better horses. So looking forward to seeing that.
Who's on King of Light, sorry, mate?
Willie Pike, of course, mate.
Willie Pike, of course. Who else?
Trained by Danny Morton. So, yeah, it's a freak, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that go around. And the Quaddie King sent us in some quaddie tips here, mate, so we'd have to go through those as well very quickly. Leg 1, so at Belmont on the weekend, just to run through it quickly, you got races 5, 6, 7 and 8 are the quaddie legs. In race 5, the King's gone for 2, 4, 5, 10 and 14. In race 6, 4, 6, 7, 5 and 3. Leg 3, 1, 2, 3, 5 and 10. And in leg 4, 3, 10, 11, 14 and 4. He does them in preference of horse, so not in numerical order. But there has been throwing up some really big results, to be honest, particularly lately at Belmont when the track's been a little bit soft. So I'm just putting it out there, mate. It might be worth getting on the King this week and just seeing if he can jag a big one.
He's been conservative. Usually he takes the field.
He does. He's not no field in any of these legs, but he probably should have taken King of Light there in race 7, one out, or another horse in there. But anyway, he's hoping for some value. Good luck to him.
Good luck to the King. Get around him, and we'll try and get that out on the socials as well. But Nick, all the best for the weekend. What's the major race at Belmont before we go away?
It is the Idyllic Prince Stakes. Race 7, 1,300 metres, goes around at 3:49 p.m. on Saturday at Belmont. King of Light, as I said, down the bottom of the field. Number 9, William Pike on board, $1.55, shortest price runner the whole day, but it should be winning quite convincingly, I think.
Lovely. All right, mate. You enjoy the boys' trip. Come back alive.
Thanks, pal.
With all your teeth.
Yeah, I'll try to. Try to. See how we go. See what happens with this Sydney stuff as well. It's going to unfold the next few days. Can't wait to see what happens with the footy as well. So it's going to be a big weekend, mate.
It could be a very interesting pod next week. And with that, you have a great one. See you later.